hello. We'll talk a bit about how have you even developed an app that is very customer-centric, and what actually does it mean to have also a design-oriented application. So, for starters, let's first talk about what inspired you to even think about an app that is customer-centric, and what led you to that situation and to that process.
The company I was working with before, well, actually the product was in a very mature phase, and I still felt like I wanted to build some more. And I'm really interested in the well-being space, like how digital can support us with being balanced. So at that point, I felt it was okay for me to leave and to start my own journey. And because recreational sports is an important part of keeping sane, basically, not just keeping fit. This and the thing that I had experience with, because running used to be my main coping mechanism. Then I got an injury, and I couldn't run for over 6 months, and that showed on my mental health. And at the same time, our co-founder, Andrej, he overtrained because he was preparing for triathlon. So we both had an issue, like with activity levels, what's the right amount of activity levels to support you. And at that time we were exploring App Store, and we couldn't find a product that would fit that need. Everything seemed to be very progress-oriented. And yeah, Andrej being Andrej, he's very go, you know.
Yeah, triathlon man has to be.
And in all aspects. So he was like, you know what, I'm going to create an app. I'm going to try and create a solution for this problem. And he did that. He did a prototype with a friend in 2018. Everyone, our group was using it, and it really showed that it works. Like knowing what your activity levels are and how much intensity is good for your body on a day, or is it a rest day or anything. So that was the only sane thing to do to start with. To try and do a balanced sports app, let's say. That was poorly said.
No, it's completely fine. And a gentle streak, that's also a part of the application. How did the idea emerge for that one as well? Can you talk about
well, that was the idea for Gentler Streak, because it's an app that helps you lead a balanced, active life. And we couldn't find anything like that on the store. Everything was very progress-driven. And we felt like, it was lacking. The market was lacking a solution that we would use. And then I was lucky enough that 3 professionals agreed to go on this journey with me, to start a solo journey and risk it.
And what actually, we've mentioned a couple of times this term customer-oriented, but what does it actually mean in practice, and how do you use it in your application? What does it mean, and how does it work?
It means that the whole experience evolves around the user. So it's all about what value you provide to them. So with every feature we do, every feature that's in the app is there for a reason. While creating, you always ask yourself, does this hold value for users, or is it just, or it can just be done? And if it's something that can be done, we're not going to do it, because it's not about what you should do, but what you can do, but it's about what you should do to support your users. So basically, it's always estimating, what's supportive and what's overwhelming, or maybe not even needed.
And to pay so much attention to users, do you need some specific background, or some specific tools that you need to use, some specific emotions that you need to have? Because, customer-oriented also means people-oriented, right?
Yeah. I think with us, a lot of it just stemmed from us, because we're all active in our lives, and we're all very different people. So we just started with, how would we want to be supported? What would motivate me? What would not encourage me? So a lot of the process of creating this app was just us talking, challenging each other, And with that, trying to find the right solution, something that works for all, that covers all of our needs. And with that, like with everything we do, with every new feature we create, we also always ask ourselves, can this induce anxiety in people? Because we've heard it a lot of times, like that people fall off the bandwagon because they just don't feel like they belong in that space, or they can't keep up. So I think keeping up the motivation is a huge part of our app.
Are there any tools that you use in in that manner, or is it just you go by the gut feeling?
I don't know about tools, but maybe beta testing group. That's sort of a tool. So that's like the first is us. First people who test the idea and whatever we're working on is the 8 of us, and each having a different relationship to active life. We each come with a different feedback, so we can adapt on that. And then when we have a solution, we give it to early testers. Gather feedback from them, and then it goes on to the world.
Great, actually, I like that. But except for being very customer-oriented, you're also design-oriented and design-based. Now, in the market of fitness that is quite crowded, how do you stand out? And what does it mean to be design-oriented? And is it only color and shape, or which parts does it include?
Well, in the health and fitness niche, when we started, most of the apps were very data first, so number first, which can be alienating or overwhelming for people who don't come from that world. And we knew that if we want to make it inclusive, we need to humanize the data. We need to make it so it's understandable to all, and that it's simple, that it's actionable. That was our differentiation. That's why we chose to have an app that comes with a character, because if you have a character, that opens a whole new gateway to how you communicate with users, with how you convey values. You can be more playful, you can be cheerful, like you give personality to health and fitness stats, which is hard to do without it if you just present the raw data. So that played a major role.
And your conscious decision was just to stick with Apple and the smartwatches. How come? Is there any reason behind it? And is something else in the future? Some other also systems.
Well, one thing is that all the 4 co-founders, we've all been in the iOS world for the past 13 years, I think. And another thing is because we work with your health data. We work with your everything that you get from your smartwatch. And Apple Watch is at the moment the most accurate when it comes to heart rate. So the data, if we guide you based on that data, we know that the guidance is good. But if we go to Android and all of them watches, which some give good data, some not so good. And they also have, from what I know, 2 health libraries, and that can be confusing. So we would no longer manage the experience. Like we would lose control over the user experience with that.
And you're planning to stay here?
Yeah, stay on iOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're also, I don't know if the audience knows, but you're actually the only woman to win 2 Apple prizes in terms of design for 2 different products, actually. So how do you reflect on that, and what are some of the lessons learned from that, and which products, and lead us through that, walk us through that.
I don't know. It's a hard one, I guess. I think in a way, it still feels a bit surreal, like you're talking about someone else. But especially because when I entered the industry, I felt like an imposter for a while, because I'm not a designer, I'm not a developer. So what's my place in this? How do I bring value? And I guess achieving that helped a bit with the imposter syndrome. And overall, it was just a beautiful recognition of the work we've done with the 2 teams before, with Lake and now with Gentler Stories. And it shows that goals can be achieved in your own way. we walked our own path. We were driven, we believed in it, and we got somewhere.
Yeah, and hopefully more prizes are somewhere in the future as well. But now, of course, everything, prizes are nice, and of course it gives you some confidence and everything else. But what were the biggest challenges that you faced in that design-driven world during development of your application?
Being independent, so being indie, that means you have no marketing budget. That means you have very limited resources. And we thought we only have one chance with this. So we had to nail it the first time, basically. Design played a huge role in it. And when I say design, I don't just mean the buttons.
Tell us what actually design
and the layout
means.
It's everything. It's the whole experience. It's why you choose a color palette, why you choose an illustration, what copy you use, what tone of it, how much copy, the animations, all of that. Because it's not just a product, it's like an experience. You're creating an experience for that. So that all of that played a big role for us. Because one thing is you have to create a product that users will love to use and will keep coming back, that will actually serve them well. But also you have to get to those users. And having zero marketing budget, we knew that we first have to convince the journalists and the App Store editors, because then they are the gateway to your users. So we knew that the quality has to be.
How did that convincing happen? What was the pathway?
It's creating what we've created. And then just doing your job, pitching the app to the right journalists at the right time, with the right proposition, and trying to also pitch your app to App Store editors.
If you had to choose one most important design decision so far, which one would it be?
I would say definitely introducing a character, because that was a differentiation to other apps. Because you can't have a relationship with stats, but you can build a relationship with a character that has personality and that reflects back to you yourself, basically.
Of course.
So that changed everything. It allowed us, to be playful, cheeky, warm.
And how do you integrate the follow-up and the reactions from your audience? I guess if everything is customer-based, then they play a huge role in this as well. So how do you kind of cope with that and make sure that they actually are in the app?
Well, listening to feedback is crucial. But at the same time, I think you have to be cautious, because you will never please all. And when users get used to something and then you change it, and even if you improve it, some of them will be pissed off, some of them won't be happy. So I think it's always finding that right balance between your vision, what you want to achieve, and then hearing if it resonates with the users, with the public. And then create a solution that works for all, But I would say never jump head into when 10 folks say they don't like something. It's like it has to be a significant proportion of folks. And then sometimes you have to give in,
Of course, a bit of your own information and knowledge and gut. Perfect. Okay, so we talked about challenges in design. How about, in general, challenges in scaling and challenges in the growth of the business itself, from financial point of view and everything else? So we talked about the light topics, but let's talk about the core of the entire thing.
Well, I guess because we're indie, we're bootstrapped, we're looking for a sustainable business. We're not chasing unicorn, we're not. We're all about creating a quality product that resonates with users, that lets us sleep well. And this is us, because there's no investors, there's no one behind us who would be, where we would have to, where user experience would be under growth or forced growth. So.
Okay, so no chasing unicorns, but what are you chasing? What's next? What's in the future for the entire business?
Well, we're making another app, So that's one big thing. There's 8 of us now, all working on 2 apps.
Also a fitness app? Or
yeah, it's
something?
also a fitness app, yeah. And yeah, this was so, and with that, creating another fitness app will let a gentler streak be even more inclusive. We're going to be able to add even more soft features and more holistic guidance. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Could you actually tell us a bit more about that, about the new product that we can look forward to in the near future?
Actually, no.
I thought so. I thought
Yes.
I tried.
Sorry.
No problem. But we were talking before the fireside chat started, that except for the basically regular people, you also care a lot about disabled people as well. So maybe you can talk about that as well. How does your application and how does the entire business support them as well?
Yeah, it's because the app uses your own data, solely your own data, and that's the only benchmark for you. So it's not 5K, 10K per day, it's not 100 push-ups, it's no generic goals. So rather than you adapting to the goals, app adapts to you with what it expects from you to do. And this speaks a lot to people with chronic illnesses who themselves say that they never used to feel a part of the active crowd, but now they can keep active and without flare-ups because the app reflects their body, how it feels when they're ready to do the workouts, or they should rest more. Yeah, so I think that's one of the things I think I'm most proud of, that we actually managed to open some space for everyone else who, before this, maybe did not see themselves as like being active, because it was very black and white. You know, you either a top performer, Instagram muscles, whatever, or
we all know
no
those
one on the couch. But the truth is everywhere in the middle, because we're all different. Our bodies are different, needs and capabilities are different. And our goal is to just help you move as an investment into future health, and also to feel better, because, just, I think, 15-minute walk, it releases endorphins. Just a 15-minute walk, moving your body forward. And it's about that, yeah. It's about being more conscious how small steps can eventually make a great difference to your overall health.
Yeah, it's a great lesson, especially for those who are just starting to exercise and entering that world of fitness. I guess there's a lot of people here in the audience who are at least thinking about starting a customer-based business, customer-based product. What would be, your top, lesson learned or suggestion to them, or maybe a couple of them, not just one?
I would say if you are this is from my own experience,
of course,
but making designer and developer co-founders core part of your team is super important, because as we talked before, design is not just the layout, it's how the app makes you feel in the end, and for that you need more people involved. It's great if there's chemistry, especially between the developer and the designer, because ideas are great and we all have them, but it's the execution, it's where the magic happens. It's where you make a difference. So, yeah, I would say have driven people, similar values, similar goal, and let them speak, include them, make them product owners, and follow your vision. And don't listen to everyone who say that it can't be done, or that,
the usual suspects. Of course, it's a very holistic, actually, approach to the entire thing. I think we're kind of running out of time. If there's anything else that you would like to tell to the audience, or any lesson learned that you'd still like to kind of highlight from your journey so far, yes, please. We're definitely looking forward to that.
You got me here. No, I would just say that if anyone's interested in anything iOS, I'm happy to speak to you. I'll be in the next room, so
Yeah, yeah.
please come.
Exactly, you know the rule. After every speaker here wraps up on this stage, they'll go to the room right across this room, and you can ask them anything you like, share any other thoughts you might have, and yeah, Katarina will be waiting for you there as well. Thank you very much for this conversation, and looking forward to many more to come. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you.